Welcome back, y'all, to episode 7 of Southern Draw. We're happy to have you here, your new go-to sports podcast. Don't be afraid to hit that like button if you're watching on YouTube or give us a 5-star rating on Spotify. Before we dive in here, I'm here joined with my co-hosts Nick and Rod. How are we doing tonight, fellas?
Doing good. I think I am the most hydrated man in New England right now, or man or woman, most hydrated person in New England right now.
Thank you for specifying.
Yeah.
We needed that.
I have to, the only way I can drink a lot of water is if I have, I'm a fucking Neanderthal with, one of those jugs, you see,
The one with
douchebags
all
the
the
gym
words
carry.
that's like 9 p.m. Keep going. You're doing good.
No, fuck that. But it's just like a normal jug, and I've just been, gallon a day. I'm a good guy in Tom Herman's eyes.
That's what we need. We need good guys on the.
I was more of a Sark guy this weekend. So I just get water bottles and refill them after I finish it.
You were
I am a
juiceless and
Stanley
useless
Cup
this
guy.
weekend, Matt?
What?
Yeah, I was past that. I probably created a new level on the Herman hydration chart.
Stanley Cup's the way to go. The white women are right about them. They're great. Everybody needs to get one.
I thought for a second you were talking about hockey.
You're
I was
talking about
like,
hockey,
what the
yeah. What the fuck?
What? Oh.
You're talking about the Stanley Cup, and I was like, what are white women talking about the Stanley Cup for?
No, the big cups. They're great. People hate on them too much because it's they're trendy, but I'm a big fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the last trendy water bottle was a Hydro Flask, right? Was probably the biggest one before Stanley. And those are the truth. I got a couple of those.
And then the Orcas, the Yetis, and then you had those like clear ones that people would put stickers all around them.
Nalgene.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there'll probably be a new one in like a year or so.
I went to summer camp when I was younger, and my parents bought me an Nalgene to take to it. And one of the older kids said, if you can figure out a way to break a Nalgene, because he was like, they're supposed to be indestructible. So he's like, if you can break it, they'll give you a bunch of free ones. So I spent an entire day throwing like rocks at it to get it to break.
Why didn't you just jump on it?
Those things are tough. But it turns out they don't give you free ones. You just get a broken water bottle. So
yeah. So what are y'all's opinions on washing water bottles?
What do you mean? Like this water bottle?
No, like a reuse, like a Stanley Cup. Like I have my work water bottle. I have not washed in forever.
I have an Orca that I use. I'll wash it like probably maybe once a month. Just dish soap in there, and
it's
falls from that. But yeah, I maybe once a month or 2 months. I mean, you're not putting anything in there. And if you're not leaving it with like water just sitting over or open or with the sun going straight into it, you're probably going to be fine.
I think the sun is good for it, because if it's dark, it's like going to mold.
I thought if the sun was on it, then it would start to mold with the sun.
It's the opposite. It's darkness that's like you're supposed to leave the lights on in your bathroom for like an hour after you shower.
Yeah.
Because it'll get moldy if you don't.
Yeah. Speaking of mold, dude, so I went to the grocery store last week, I guess.
Turn the lights on in my shower.
And I just got a loaf of sourdough bread, normal, make some sandwiches for lunch at work. I had it I think I had it a week maybe, and I opened up my pantry this morning to make a sandwich for my work lunch, and it was just fucking like blue.
Oh. Did you take a bite?
Did I what?
Did you take a bite?
Yeah, I made my sandwich blue sourdough. It builds character. It's extra protein or something like that.
There's definitely some beneficial things in there, but more so non-beneficial things. I ate some nasty ass cheese when Rod was here, but I just spit it out and threw it away. I didn't realize it was all moldy until like I put it in my mouth and it tasted like a hairy bread, I guess.
Hairy bread cheese. I think the worst thing I've ever tasted in my life is it was like a year or so ago. We bought fish sticks for some reason.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And they went bad. and I bit into it, and it like made me like actually vomit. It was like the most disgusting thing ever. It tasted like metal, but metal that tastes bad, if you know what I mean.
What about metal that tastes good?
Yeah, I was about to say what
Like-
what metal tastes really
Like a
good.
penny, you know, like copper penny.
I love munching on some pennies.
But yeah, it tasted horrible. Anyway, all right, I guess we're gonna hop into it. Our first
Hold on.
topic.
No, last night I gotta tell you
Oh,
something. Okay, so
okay.
I was taking Hulk woke me up at like 1:30, taking the dogs out, and there's a rabbit sitting right out. So I go out, chase the rabbit off, because if it's close enough, they'll end up killing it. So I chase it off to the back far side of the fence, and then I'm walking back and I hear like a, and I was like, that's my like brain fucking with me, like the hissing noise. I was just because it's dark. So I walk back, bring the dogs out. They just full on dart all the way to the edge of the into the fence where the rabbit was. I get there and I just see like this light blonde animal on the ground, and I was like, "Oh, Hulk killed the rabbit." And like I tried to pull him off, and he wouldn't get off. And I pulled him up, and it was a fucking huge possum just going like, I was like, "Holy shit!" And then it did the play dead thing and just sat there, and I like poked it with a stick, and then I was like, "Oh yeah, we're good." So then I had to I like got the hose and like sprayed it in Hulk's mouth because I know his ass was licking that possum probably. I brought him back inside. It was definitely an interesting thing for like 1:30 in the morning.
Did the
Love some.
possum live?
At first I was like, I know it's playing dead, but I didn't know if like Hulk maybe bit it. So I went back and that's when I poked it. And then after I took him back in, I came back out and it was still there, like playing dead. I was like, maybe he like bit it, or I was like, these things do play dead though, so this is probably what's happened. So I just waited till the morning. I went back and he was gone.
Either
Yeah.
died or lived. Well, yes, those are the two options, but he
Yeah.
either lived or he was dead and something else came and got him and had a nice feast.
Yeah, probably the rabbit.
Yeah, the rabbit drug it away.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So let's hop into it, guys. Our
Right.
first, I guess we're going to talk about college football first, but
Yeah.
this isn't really a college football topic. It's just kind of a football topic. Baby Gronk is the new Rizz King, apparently. Do y'all have any thoughts about Baby Gronk?
I have thoughts about Baby Gronk for sure.
Does one of us want to explain who Baby Gronk is?
I think Matt, I think you might have the best background on Baby Gronk. I think you are the most tenured Baby Gronk
Super fan.
enthusiast here.
Yeah. Psychopath father with a kid. Basically just throws his kid all over social media, tags everyone for everything, goes on visits, verbally commits to like a college every few months for no reason. The kid's probably like 9 or
I think
something.
he's in fourth grade.
So he's in 4th grade. His dad basically runs this whole social media and is blowing this kid up. And then in high school, he's probably going to get bullied because he'll probably be like 3rd string on the JV. And I hate this kid. Not the kid, the father. He's still a kid, so the dad's a psychopath basically, but just throws his kid everywhere online.
Yeah. He's like a mini
Julian Newman
influencer.
vibes or whatever that kid was called, the basketball kid.
Julian Newman.
He gives me those vibes.
Yeah, very similar to Julian Newman. But yeah, he's like, he doesn't run the account, but he's Baby Gronk. And his dad runs the account. And I guess it went viral from a TikTok where he met the LSU gymnast, Livy Dunn. She's got like the most followers of any college athlete. And it's this guy who, the guy that made the TikTok was like kind of scary looking. Seemed like he wasn't all there.
Probably his
But
dad.
no, it was just some random guy. I think it was one of the guys that, because there's a rumor that the Baby Gronk's dad pays people to make videos.
I bet he does.
Yeah, he probably does. But he so this guy made it and he did like the TikTok voice where you like take too long to explain things. But he went viral and then it started coming out that the guy's dad literally sends like tens of thousands of DMs to anyone in like sports media to try to get them to like do collaborations with Baby Gronk.
Yeah, it's very clearly a family dynamic that needs to be studied. I think therapy would most likely be good for Baby Gronk's father. I think that at this current trajectory, Baby Gronk himself is going to need countless therapy sessions, more therapy sessions than Tony Soprano, most likely. It is his dad is so down bad, dude. Going on Twitter and looking at all the DMs that have been screenshot, like you guys have said. Literally, I think I saw a tweet that said like one of my friends is a social media intern for like a very small like double A affiliate of like some team, and Baby Gronk's dad is DMing him asking to collab or post like, oh, this picture of Baby Gronk is going viral, can you post it? We'll get so many comments, we'll flood the internet.
Yeah, it's like really bad. Baby Gronk, the whole situation is like it's like football, like Honey Boo Boo. If that makes any sense,
Yeah.
listening that don't know what we're talking about, that's kind of what it is. It's like he's like football pageant kid. So it's sad. I feel bad for the kid because he's being set up like really high expectations that are just not achievable in any way.
My favorite when it's like the videos of him would be like, he's the number one tight end in the class of 2031 or some shit like that. Oh
God. The dad makes videos and has him say like, "Oh, I eat rice and salmon, and I'm actually a cyborg, and I don't have a brain. I have a computer in my head." And it's it's really weird. It needs like I need like child protective services to intervene at some point because it's really weird. But I don't know. But if Baby Gronk isn't the new Rizz King, who is the Rizz King?
Shut the fuck up.
Oh my god, the new Rizz King. It's got to be Duffy.
Duffy McCat.
Duffy McCat is definitely a strong contender for that position, I would say.
He's not a king, he's the Rizz Lord.
I think we've reached our quota for the amount of times that 3 25-year-old men should say Rizz on a
I don't think I'd said that
podcast.
word in a long time until today.
Okay, final thing about Baby Gronk. Would you guys interview him?
No,
Baby Gronk's dad
like that a platform.
If he messaged the Southern Draw Instagram, would you say yes?
I hold to my stance of not wanting to promote someone like that over virality.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's clearly worked because they've gone viral, but it's like that's just kind of not the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, usually when you do some sketchy shit like that, you tend to get some viral problems. So
yeah. All right. Next topic.
Thank God.
I guess we'll talk about the NCAA football game. We talked about that 2 or 3 shows ago. But now it's come out that the Players Association for college football players is urging some of the more high profile players to boycott the game because the compensation for being in the game is going to be so low. It was reported that EA is only going to pay $500 each to each player and then no royalties. So what do y'all think?
W. I don't care about the players already have their thing for being paid, but like the only people it's a problem for, like you were talking about earlier, is the high profile names. I don't even think it's necessarily because they'll change depending on the university, but ones will always have more, like y'all were saying, to pay certain schools more. But this isn't something that you're going to get majority of your NIL from. And it's 133 schools, 80 something plus players on each team, and you have to pay all the employees, everyone else working on this. It's not like it's a straight up one-on-one NIL deal. There's like thousands of other kids also getting paid money on top of this, plus employees and everything else. So I think it's not going to be a problem, though. They'll just end up releasing for people who hold out and just do like wide receiver 85, and I'll make my own roster.
Yeah, I mean, the players are going to get thrown into the game one way or another, like whether it's by them consenting and being in the game and getting paid their $500, or someone's gonna. I'm sure there's going to be roster customization, right?
I think the rumor is that it's not no roster
That's
customization.
fucked up.
Yeah. So that's why it's such a big deal if they don't opt in to have their likeness, then you just have random.
There'll be a way around it. I guarantee there will be someone who does something where you can plug
Probably
Yeah,
for
there's
PC, when it comes to
There's always
PC,
something.
there will be a mod, but for like
Yeah.
console players, I don't know how modding consoles works, but
there's so much time too until the game comes out. They'll figure this out. I think $500 is a little insulting, but they should never have done a base fee for every player. They should have been tiered like we talked about, Rod. You know, there's no reason that a star quarterback on Alabama should get paid the same amount of money as a third string wide receiver on fucking
Vanderbilt.
Vanderbilt. Yeah, you know, so
EA though in general to be able to do this one payment every year and have it like fixed instead of having to fluctuate and all this, then you'll have to do individual negotiations. Yet you got to think of the nightmare it would be if you're paying a bunch of players different money.
Yeah, that's their thought process, because I know they said like players in the NFL, like once they move to the NFL, it's $1,000 a year, and like basically like I guess it's kind of royalties, but they're not calling it that. But yeah, they need to. The logic is there, but obviously you're going to have certain players who are more deserving, like Caleb Williams. How much is him being in the game worth? How much are you going to lose in sales if Caleb Williams isn't in the game? You know what I mean? Like, I think people will buy it anyway.
But yeah, with this game, it doesn't matter who or what is in it. For this first year, it's going to be bought by everyone who wants to buy the game, regardless.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. 500, just to me, $500 is kind of insulting. Like, I mean, $500 is nothing to these guys. Like, they can go post a tweet that's sponsored. It'll take them 30 seconds and they'll get probably way more than $500.
Well, I mean, in the NFL, like he just said, you only get 1,000. So it's not, you're really not going to get that much money from being in the game. And I guarantee there's kids who are probably like, oh, I want like 10 grand.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Absolutely
unrealistic
at all. But that's the problem. Once you crack that door open with one player, then everything else is just going to fall. So
who do you think's likely? I think Caleb Williams is likely to be one that may not be in it. Who else do y'all think could not be in the game from holding out?
Probably just like a specific school or something. Because aren't there still schools that haven't signed on technically?
Who didn't?
I said, aren't there some smaller schools I think that technically didn't like sign on or still haven't? I'm sure they will by the time the game releases. But
at one point, Notre Dame had not signed on, but I don't know if that's changed since.
That was one of the big ones.
Yeah,
I would say honestly, Bo Nix would be the kind of guy to not be in the game.
Yeah, him. I could see like Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, you've got to not only just be like a top talent, but you've also kind of got to be like that personality, like dramatic kind of guys. Like Caleb Williams exactly would be like the perfect kind of representative of that kind of person. But I mean, dude, if I was a college football player, throw me my $500. Let me be in the game. I don't care. I'm getting paid out the ass if I'm like if I'm a really good player. So
yeah, I mean, even if I had Rizz and I was playing on a roster.
Oh my god. How much do you think Baby Gronk would get into being the NCAA game, like the arcade player? Like, you know how like you could play with like the mascots and stuff? You have like Baby Gronk mode. You got to do the Stanford Cardinal 11 versus 11 Baby Gronks. His dad is the head coach on the sideline.
That's going to be microtransactions just to add Baby Gronk to your team.
You have to like post like a Baby Gronk sponsored tweet, and then you get access to Baby Gronk.
You go to the on three deal or whatever in Road to Glory and take a picture with Baby Gronk, and then you unlock him in play now mode.
Oh man. Okay, so
going off the rails.
Yeah, big time. Well, into another like NIL thing. I don't know if y'all have read much about this week, but there have been a lot of coaches visiting the Capitol in DC to talk with like state representatives and elected people, whatever, about NIL legislation to kind of regulate it. I know Hugh Freeze was there. There's a couple other people. I think
there
Duke
with Saban.
was there. But do y'all think there's going to be some kind of like regulation that comes out in the next couple years that kind of tamps down these crazy deals that these guys are getting?
I don't even know if it's necessarily the crazy. I think that some deals will stay the same, but I think it's just making sure it's uniform across the universe of college football, that everyone plays by the same exact rule is basically how it is. Because right now it's kind of dictated by the state instead of like nationally, which needs to be the thing. But it might be like, we'll probably be like a year or two into the 12-team playoff era, I'd imagine, to maybe see some uniformity across the NIL landscape.
Yeah, I agree. I think I disagree with him a lot, but Deion Sanders did make a good point. It's not NIL that's the issue, it's the differences in the different collectives that's really making how much money these teams can give to recruits and players and what the big differences are. So I don't know if it probably won't target the NIL specifically, but it'll specifically target the different collectives.
Yeah, I don't know what the best way to like solve the disparity in schools paying their players. I mean, one thing, like, you just publish all the money, make everything public. That'd be one way to do it, but it's going to be a fight. I think it's going to take more than a couple of years to get something that is approved and everyone is okay with.
Yeah. So you know how they do like congressional hearings and you'll see them on like TV sometimes? Which coach, when they eventually do go to pass legislation, do you most hope speaks in Congress for it?
Well, he's not employed as a head coach right now, but if Coach O was there, he would have been the perfect candidate.
I would love to see Coach O and Marjorie Taylor Greene interact with each other. That would be very entertaining.
Rod's fantasy world, college football, and politics aligning at the same time.
Yeah, I was gonna
Those
say,
two people
you're talking about
hilarious.
you're seeing congressional hearings on TV. I was like, I'm not seeing any of those.
Yeah,
They do, and they talk, and you get like the viral moments, and they're stupid, and everybody acts stupid. But it would be hilarious to see Coach O in there. Lane Kiffin would be funny too.
A guy that I really hate, but I think it would be hilarious to see him up there just because of like how much of a goober he is Eli Drinkwitz.
Oh my god.
what was his
wearing like a tuxedo with Jordans, talking on TV. Oh man.
When he said he was like, I'm a history man by trade or something. And then he was like, yeah, through NIL people are making more money than my brother-in-law who's a pediatrician and he saves lives.
Yeah, and he's a freaking head coach. It's like, do you have any self-awareness?
There was one more thing. Did y'all see you were talking about Dion. Did you see his comments back to Pat Narduzzi about the transfer portal stuff?
Yeah, he was like, I don't know who that is.
I don't even know who you are. If he walked in here right now, I wouldn't know him.
That's bad. I don't know. Pat Narduzzi is basically he definitely knows who Pat Narduzzi is, but Pat Narduzzi's been like the main guy who's been like,
I like him because he actually like speaks out and doesn't really care. But I mean, he has a point, but it's not, you can't do what Dion's doing with the transfer portal after your first year.
Yeah.
So what Dion's doing right now, he's not allowed to do next year. Only if you are the first year head coach coming in can something like that be done, which I think is so I would say that's kind of fair. But the whole thing is really hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I love coach beef. Anytime coaches are beefing, that's always entertaining. So it's like this Dion versus Narduzzi maybe could be this year's Saban and Fisher, but then their schools are a lot smaller. But we need an off-season coach beef every year because it gives us something. It's something to fill the news cycle in college football.
Just have them fist fight.
Fist fight? Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. That's all for college football. NFL. What?
I said thanks. I was like, you really like that comment very much. So, but yeah, NFL, get on into
Not a ton. DeAndre Hopkins visited the Titans. I saw right before we started recording that they said that they would be in communication, so it sounds like he's not going to the Titans.
Is he just going to visit every single team in the NFL?
That's what it sounds like. Did y'all see what Bill Belichick said about it today when he was asked if he was going to visit?
No.
He goes, how would I know? I'm not a travel agent, which was pretty funny. But then
Bill Belichick probably looks at DeAndre Hopkins and go, it's not the right guy for my system. He's like, I need someone who's under 6'4". And
why would you go to a team where Mac Jones is the quarterback if you're DeAndre Hopkins?
I wouldn't. Why would you go to Ryan Tannehill?
I think he's just using his leverage to other teams, just visiting as many as he can to make it seem like he's, I guess, shopping himself around.
Yeah. Yeah. He definitely shouldn't go to Tennessee because I think that's the place where like veteran wide receivers go to kill their careers. Julio Jones, Andre Johnson, a bunch of guys like that have gone there and then just fallen off the face of the earth. Randy Moss played for the Titans at one point. So,
my God, yeah, he did. They haven't really, ever since McNair's career and he passed, they've just everything's gone downhill quarterback wise, really.
Yeah,
Titans just suck, dude.
Yeah, they suck.
They're stable, but they're not good or bad. They're just average.
Yeah,
but
the uniforms are one of the worst parts, but they are going to improve one part of them this year. I added this in here because my obsession. Lots of throwbacks revealed. The Eagles, Kelly Greens, they leaked. They look good. I don't know, y'all. I sent that to y'all.
Yeah, I saw that.
They look cool. The Seahawks and Buccaneers announced the weeks that they're wearing the uniforms without revealing the uniforms. That sucks. Show us the uniforms if you're going to reveal when you're wearing them. And then the Titans said earlier in the year that they're going to bring them back. But question I have for y'all: do y'all think the Titans should wear the Oilers throwbacks, or should the Texans wear the Oilers throwbacks?
Titans, they're the franchise.
Titans.
That's what I said too. Yeah, I don't understand why people want the Texans to wear them because I see that a lot.
Have zero idea that the Titans are actually the original team from Houston.
Yeah, that's what I've seen people claim that the uniforms belong to the city of Houston, which makes no sense.
Dude, the original owner who moved them or was moved out or ended up in like Nashville or for the Titans, like despised Houston after and everything just because they had to move. Because they were balling at the time right before they had to move.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know why anyone would want the Texans because the Texans have good uniforms. I don't know why, but yeah. So that's uniform news, and then the only other thing going on was Aaron Rodgers said that Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson could be wide receiver 1 and cornerback 1 in the NFL. So what do y'all think about that?
Drug test Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, literally.
You're gonna have. You don't have to. It's gonna come back positive.
There's like eight wide receivers I would take in a heartbeat over him.
I mean, they're definitely like a great young duo to have. Like you can build around those guys, but they're certainly not at the point where you can plausibly say that they're the best wide receiver and the best cornerback in the NFL. Give it a couple years, maybe that take will age a little better. But
I think in another year, it wouldn't be crazy to say that Sauce Gardner was
more than a season's sample size for sure, regardless of how great it is.
Yeah, but no way you can call Garrett Wilson even close. I mean, he'd have to have a crazy year, but I don't know. Yeah, kind of a crazy thing to say, but Aaron Rodgers is like riding that high lately. So
literally,
yeah, literally.
Now anything he says basically gets praised instead of just getting thrashed in Green Bay. So I'm sure he just loves saying whatever there. They'll eat it up in New York.
Oh, this is totally like not on subject, but we're just talking about AFC East quarterbacks. Did you see Tua with his Polaroid on his camera on his helmet?
People were like so confused at first. They're like, "Oh, it's great." I was like, "Has anyone like I've seen plenty of teams do this before, like put a camera on the quarterback's helmet, and the whole reason they were doing it is to help the younger players see what Tua's seeing during plays, help them kind of have like a visualization of what the quarterback's going through for their timing, I guess, and everything. But the Polaroid thing was pretty funny.
Yeah, well, what the camera is seeing out of Tua's helmet is very different than what Tua is seeing out of his own eyes because
Yeah, he's seeing first downs and touchdowns.
He's seeing like 37
offense when
players
he
on the
was
other
on the
side of
field
the
last year.
ball.
Yeah. God, poor guy.
Tua reads the defense and reads it in Chinese. He doesn't read.
Hey, I don't care what he does as long as we get those wins. When he's on the field, our offense is technically the best in the NFL.
Technically,
Technically,
if
yeah.
you take away Tua, definitely.
He's literally by the number. Okay.
Every time that Tua throws,
Marcus Mariota and Desmond Ridder.
Mariota's not on the team anymore.
Yeah.
Taylor Heineke.
That's who it is.
that's a franchise quarterback.
That's right. He's better than Tua if you look at the stats.
Probably.
If you look at the numbers when Taylor Heineke is on the field for the Atlanta Falcons, they are undefeated.
That's true.
Sorry. Just like the Falcons, though, the Bills missed their window for a Super Bowl.
I don't see why you had to drag me into this.
You just hopped on the train right there.
I am the most public person when I say the Bills will never win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. Not because it's his fault, it's because they're a cursed franchise.
You're using that for a reverse jinx.
I know I am.
So the universe knows that you don't mean it. So there will
You're going to reverse jinx it.
Exactly.
The
so
Bills
now you have to
win a
say
Super Bowl.
going to win a Super. There you go. Now that resets everything.
All right, we're back at square one. All right, that's it for NFL. Nothing happening. It's we're in the middle of the off season. But NBA Finals, Game 5 is actually right now.
Right now,
speaking, it's 3-1 Nuggets. Nuggets are dominating. What do y'all think? What's going to happen tonight?
I think it's done tonight.
Hope the Nuggets win so the NBA season's over.
I agree.
Yeah, I think most of us said it would either be a sweep or 4-1.
I am surprised they won the game though.
I thought 6. I thought the Heat were gonna show a little bit more spine than they have. Obviously, if they win tonight, it'll go 6. But I think it's over. It's just the Nuggets are too good.
Tyler Hero is playing tonight, so we could see that could make a difference. I mean, he was a 20-point-a-game player before he got hurt, but I mean, it's his first game back.
They're gonna get sauced probably.
Maybe. I don't know that Tyler Hero is enough, but I mean,
I think they're gonna get. I think the Nuggets blow them out tonight.
This run has been one of the most impressive playoff runs in a long time. They're just dominating. They're so good.
Yeah,
so deep. I mean, we talk about it every time we talk about the Nuggets. They're just too good. Every position. Jokic, Murray, Aaron Gordon had a great game.
He stepped up huge in the finals.
Game 4. So I mean,
their role players are all contributing.
Yeah.
And Tavius Caldwell-Pope had it was like 3 possessions, like back to back to back in the last game in Game 4, where I think he had a steal on Jimmy Butler and then he had like a layup on the other end, and then he had a block of Adebayo. So yeah, like him specifically, I think he's been one of the most underrated players in this series and in the playoffs. But yeah, it's like you are saying, their role players have stepped up huge, and they have.
Bruce Brown too has been really good as well.
Yeah, everybody. I mean, they've literally just cruised through the playoffs. Have they been? What was their closest series? I mean, have they lost 2 games in a series?
Was it 4-2 Lakers?
They swept the Lakers.
They swept the Lakers.
They did?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Damn. That shows you how much I've been paying attention.
4-1 over the Wolves.
Was it 4-1 over the Suns as well, or was that 4-2?
I'm trying to get past CBS Sports is pissed I have an ad blocker.
CBS is going to come for us now. Thanks, Nick.
They beat the.
It was 4-2.
4-2.
So they lost, but really, I mean, they were up. It was 2-2, and then they won the next two. But still, I mean, that's the closest they've been is 2-2.
Yeah, it's kind of
So
wild.
it's been a dominant run. They're clearly the best team, number one seed in the West, which is obviously a stronger conference. So they deserve it. It's cool to see. First championship, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Someone who is
Serbia,
what's that?
Serbians dominating.
Yeah, they are.
Novak Djokovic just
Yeah.
won. So shout out to all of our Serbian fans out there. We know there's at least one of you out there.
Yes.
So,
Someone who is not having a dominant run right now is Zion Williamson.
oh my God. I don't even know how to get into this topic because
I don't know how to describe the situation or approach the situation in a way that I want to be recorded and posted somewhere.
Hasn't he not even responded to her? It's just her, she posted over 300 things about him.
Well, there's many hers in this situation. I believe there are three hers in this situation.
Mariah. I thought it was just her talking about her, that whole situation.
He's in.
I didn't know there was more women.
It's a love square, apparently.
Yes.
But he
got like Josh Allen's love square.
But he has a wife now? Is that what it is? Or
I think it's his girlfriend.
Okay.
Or ex-girlfriend now, I don't know.
Coming out and mad that he's been hooking up with them, but now he has a kid.
So he announced, him and his girlfriend announced that they're having a baby. And then two actresses came out and said that he had been having some fun on the side with them. Detailed.
So he was getting it on with his side ladies, his little award stars or whatever, I don't know. Those ladies, and then so this is his girlfriend, not his wife.
Yes, girlfriend, not wife, I believe.
Okay. So they're just mad that there's no way they didn't know that he was already with someone, like a high profile NBA guy. Definitely has a girlfriend or at least a wife or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a bad situation.
Was he going and was he paying for him or something, or was it
I believe there were some transactions that occurred between Zion Williamson and one of these females. I would not like to dive deeper into that, but I believe there were some acquisitions and he was excited about one of his friends coming to New Orleans. And I think she was moving there, and he was like, I think the DM came out and it was like, great, I'm excited. Like, how much am I going to have to pay you? Shit like that. So,
someone needs to take his phone away from him.
if you are a celebrity, an NBA superstar, well, he's not a superstar. If you are a high profile public figure, I think it would probably be wise to not publicly text or DM with proof of your financial exchanges in return for certain favors. I think that would probably be the wise way.
We're trying to be as respectful as possible here, if you cannot tell, but this is a very
and so we don't get flagged by YouTube's algorithm for mentioning a certain word.
It's a very sensitive situation, and Zion needs to get his life together.
It sucks, dude, because Zion, I used to watch his high school highlights when he was still back, when he was still playing at Spartanburg in South Carolina. And dude, this is the most dominant force ever. Just so much more athletic than all the other kids he was playing in. And to be fair, his high school league was pretty bad. But still, even on the AAU circuit, he was just a beast, dominant. Obviously, he was great at Duke. They underwhelmed in the NCAA tournament with him. But, I mean, he has shown flashes in the NBA when he's healthy of being that same player. But there's just so many injury issues, which I guess you can kind of expect with someone that big and kind of how dynamic he is, and a lot of impact, on dunks and blocks and things like that. So hopefully he gets his injuries together. Hopefully he gets his personal life together, because I would really like to see Zion kind of fulfill that potential that he has shown.
Wasn't he healthy though? It was mental he needed a mental break or something by the end of the season. I thought he was like ready for the last few weeks before the play-in.
No,
like,
they shut him down. And then there was like a situation where he was like warming up in like layup lines pregame or like way pregame and like doing windmills and stuff. And everyone was like, oh, why can't you play? And it was stuff like, well, just because he can do this doesn't mean he's ready to play like 30 minutes at an NBA level. But regardless, Zion, get your shit together.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a shame.
Him and Ja Morant hang out together with James Harden somewhere.
Could you imagine that team, James Harden and Ja Morant and Zion Williamson? Who would be the other two? Who's the guy that shot accidentally, shot himself that one time?
Gilbert Arenas?
Yeah.
Or I was thinking it was in Washington.
And then who would be the fifth?
Jeremy Lin.
Jeremy.
I don't know.
That's an NBA championship team right there.
That team is winning 30 games.
The person who will play the most minutes would be Jeremy Lin. Literally.
I don't know. I think if everything went right for Zion, he could be a superstar. But as more time passes and he's not a superstar, I think it just becomes less likely and likely. And
he's already busted, in my opinion.
The crazy part is, Ja Morant is really good, but if this situation with him keeps going the way it's going.
Wait, we get to find out later tonight if if the Nuggets win, then I'm definitely cheering for the Nuggets.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why I saw somebody was like, on Tuesday night, it's not the end of the NBA season, it's Ja Morant punishment time. But it's crazy to think how we all thought those two guys were like the surest thing in the draft, and Ja kind of has been. But like if things go badly for him, continuing going forward, how those guys could have just like thrown it all away, basically. I don't know.
Yeah, did you see the tweet? It was I don't know who said it. I don't know if it was a Bills fan or not, but they were like, "You're telling me DeMar Hamlin's out here at training camp and Zion can't even get his fat ass back on the basketball court?" That was one of my favorite tweets I've seen this year.
I don't know. We're rooting for you, Zion. Just get your act together.
Yeah, I hope that situation goes over well with your lady friends.
Yeah. Okay. Our other finals, Stanley Cup finals. We're talking about hockey this time, not the water cups. Just so y'all know. 3-1 in favor of the Golden Knights. There was a great fight at the end of the last game. That was pretty sweet. Right at the end, Florida they had a great look to almost send it to overtime, but didn't hit it. But yeah, Vegas looks like a foregone conclusion that they're going to win the Stanley Cup.
It's over.
Yeah, Game 4's ending was crazy. It felt like the entire third period, Florida was just in full-on attack mode. I swear the entire period was played in Vegas's half, it felt like. And there were so many looks, so many shots. They got one back. And I felt it was just like going to be one of those things where if you keep on applying pressure, you keep on attacking, you're going to get the equalizer. But Vegas held off. And I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping Florida was going to be able to make this more of a series. Obviously, it's not over. 3-1 is, it's doable. It's in any sport, hockey would be the one where you can mount some kind of comeback like this. But Vegas just looked great. I think they're gonna win the Stanley Cup.
Magic is over for the Miami teams. It's they've met a good opponent. The kind of sprinkled out. The playoffs have kind of put the weight in on them. They still play well, but kind of like them and the Heat, they're facing too tall of a task after already taking down way more than they should have. And it's just making for a not very entertaining. Well, the fight was entertaining, but not very entertaining series. But that's what happens when these lower seeded teams usually end up making it to the cup. They usually get blown out unless you're Anaheim, but that was a long time ago.
If you're a Panthers fan, are you satisfied with this or are you disappointed?
I think you're satisfied.
You're satisfied as winning the even just making the playoffs was kind of crazy for them. I mean, if Pittsburgh just won the last game of their season, Florida wouldn't have made the playoffs. That's what helped get them in. So I think them just beating us in the first round is enough of its own, beating the best team. I mean, it sucks because now you will have lost 2 Stanley Cups and only won 1 game in both of those series if they lose game 5.
So close yet so far, basically. Yeah. I don't know. I think if you're a Panthers fan, you're happy as compared to the other Florida team. I think if you're a Heat fan, you got to be upset, but it's kind of opposite ends of the spectrum for them, even though they're both in it. But yeah. Golden Knights.
Yeah,
Both teams right now, gold. The Golden Knights, the Nuggets.
The Nuggets, they'll both be winning their first championship, even though the Knights have only been around for like 4 years.
I don't know. What else do we have? That's it for NHL.
Yeah, that's the last.
Is that all we got? Are we?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the regionals at all, or
no?
Nah.
No.
Yeah, the region college baseball, they actually canceled them this year.
Yeah.
Didn't happen, so we don't have anything to say about something that did not happen.
I was kind of glad we lost, to be honest. That's like the one Auburn sport I really just don't care about unless like we actually do something. It's the only sport I'll bandwagon is Auburn baseball.
I don't know what you're talking about because they didn't play the regionals. But yes, I agree.
By a little Ivy League team who won like their first series in like 30 years. Yeah, that didn't happen.
Yeah, it didn't happen. Auburn definitely.
I did say I was scared of Southern Miss in our breakdown episode, and then we ended up playing them, and they beat us.
Yeah,
which
Auburn definitely did not shit the bed in the regional that they hosted. That didn't happen. Okay, that's all we got. Trivia. I have trivia. Are y'all ready for trivia?
It's time to make a statement. Let's do it.
I don't know. I feel like this one Matt is probably going to get, but I believe in you, Nick.
Thanks.
All right. We have some Nuggets themed trivia tonight. Just one question. What was the original name of the Denver Nuggets?
The original name of the Denver Nuggets.
Yes. What was their original name?
They were in the ABA before. Don't really know NBA history that well. They had like that weird running guy mascot though. I remember that.
Y'all want a hint?
They were red and blue.
It is the mascot of another NBA team. So they're the Denver what?
The Kings?
No.
Pacers?
Nope.
They were the Denver something.
One of y'all's got to get it.
Did this NBA team? So you said it's another current, or no? It was a.
The current. It's the mascot of an NBA team right now.
Did this NBA team make the playoffs?
No.
It's not the Magic.
They're one of the worst teams in the NBA. We don't know.
It's not the. It can't be. It's not the Jazz, but they weren't that bad. I know what the old logo was, unless I guess they had one even before that.
They had one even before the one. I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, like the crackhead looking dude running or whatever.
Is this current NBA team like regionally close to Denver?
No.
What the hell?
I'm gonna give y'all each one guess left, and then I'm gonna tell you.
Okay.
Okay, one more.
No.
The Bucks?
No. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Hold on. One more.
Okay, one more. Wait, I'll give y'all both one more.
Okay.
I'm telling
you. So it's not. They were one of the worst teams. It's not them. The Nets?
Nope.
I figured
they had the worst record in the NBA this year.
Wasn't the Rockets?
You already used your guess.
Spurs, because it's very Texas centric. I'm just gonna say the Hornets.
They are the Denver Rockets, or they were.
What?
Yep.
That makes no sense.
The Denver Rockets. I know. Why you would name.
Was that when they were like green and yellow? Is that what that throwback is to for Houston?
I don't think so. Because it was like the same franchise.
That was a good question. That was hard. God.
Colors, the logo is
Yeah, I'm gonna look this up.
They're purple and yellow. They're like the Lakers colors with a rocket dribbling a basketball. The logo kind of goes hard.
Yeah, that does go really hard.
Yeah. So I was shocked to hear that too, because that was pretty wild.
What? All right, well, no points for either of us, Matt.
Also, Nick, you were kind of right. They were
What?
the Denver Spurs as well at one point.
What the hell? I'll
The
take a half
Spurs-
point.
So the Spurs were official. Or they were an expansion. When were the Spurs founded? Wasn't it kind of? Oh damn, 1967.
Yeah.
They were that old. I thought it was like 80s.
They're just taking every Texas basketball team mascot.
I guess
then-
so. Like, I guess the Spurs named themselves after them or something.
Must be. But yeah, little fun fact there. Pretty good one. Okay, that's all for trivia. Y'all have any final thoughts for this episode that was totally off the rails?
Yes. You will appreciate this closing thought, Rod. I am an idiot for not starting Succession until just now. I have been binging it. Most of this weekend I spent watching Succession. Incredible show. Like we talked about before, HBO shows are just amazing. Highly recommend, if you are listening to this and you have not started Succession, to do so. It's all out. The series is done, so you can just go from start to finish and crank it out.
To be fair, I feel like a lot of people missed out on Succession on the first, like, catching it as it aired. So I don't think you're alone, but yes, top tier, top 5. I told you this, top 5 HBO show. Something we talked about today happens in Succession. You will really enjoy that. But yeah, awesome show.
Zion Williamson in Succession.
Yeah, Zion Williamson's in Succession. But oh yeah, fun fact, another fun fact about Succession. There's a scene in the series finale, that a couple scenes that they filmed that it was a restaurant that my wife and I ate at while we were on our honeymoon. So that was pretty cool.
That's cool.
We were able to point out where we were sitting on one of the shots. That's not a spoiler, but
Yeah. That's cool.
that was cool. Matt, what's your final thought?
I got trivia for my final thought.
Uh-oh.
All right. This one probably, I don't know if this one will be easier or not, but I saw there was someone talking about this the other day, so it kind of piqued my interest. List of current franchises with a shared name across professional sports in America.
Oh.
There's 6 of them.
What do you mean?
Oh, I know this.
Like shared names, like across leagues.
Rangers,
Like MLB, NFL, yada yada yada.
Rangers, Kings,
Yeah.
Spurs?
No.
Cardinals,
Yeah, that's 3 of them. You said Rangers, Kings, Cardinals.
Rangers, Kings, Cardinals,
Panthers?
Panthers. 4. So you're missing 2. Yeah, you're missing 2. You said Rangers,
Kings, Cardinals, Panthers.
So yeah, you're missing 2. Concrete Jungle.
Jets? Winnipeg Jets? New York Jets?
Big Jets and the New York Jets.
Okay, this last one is huge because we would tie. You got 3 and I've gotten 2. Give us another hint. I'm gonna get it.
I can't. Well, I'm trying to think of.
No more hints.
You want the leagues?
Yes.
You want the leagues?
Yeah, give me the leagues.
MLB and NFL.
Dude, I don't know.
Hold on.
Are you writing down the NFL teams?
I'm thinking.
The dead air in this is gonna be great.
Think back to what I said a few seconds ago. All right. What was my last hint?
Concrete Jungle. I don't fucking know, man.
Hold on. I got it. San Francisco Giants?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was hoping when I
You're
said
never gonna
Concrete
beat me.
Jungle was both of them. I figured y'all might get both of them with that, but it was
Devastating.
the
You will
San
never
Francisco
beat
and
me.
New York Giants.
Devastating defeat.
All hail the New York Giants.
Giants.
All right, Rod, what you got?
I will say, I just have one thing to say, and it's everything's bigger and better in Texas, and that's all I have to say for my final thought.
Texas is back, folks.
Texas is very back.
All right, Matt, you want to close this out?
I'm trying to what? Oh no, Clay Helton will be going back to USC in a few years. So I'm excited about that. For my closing thought.
What does that mean?
Georgia Southern scheduled a game with USC.
Okay, so Georgia Southern?
Yeah, Georgia Southern. He's the coach there now.
State. Remember when Georgia Southern almost beat Georgia?
Yeah. And they beat Nebraska this last year. They've beaten Florida.
Yeah. The Golden Eagles.
They're a little Statesboro, Georgia.
All right, Matt, take us to our outro.
No.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit that like button. Helps us on YouTube, on Spotify. Give us a 5-star rating, regardless of what you think, because we deserve it. We have our written content on Substack, southerndraw.substack.com, and all of our social medias at Southern Draw Pod. Thank y'all for listening. Have a good week.